This is Branden with Extreme Networks. We're rebuilding my lab. We started with getting our OVAs and VMs downloaded and our licenses generated. So we'll start with loading the OVAs into VMware now. I normally would start with Extreme Management because it takes a little bit longer to install than the rest, but the download's taking longer than expected. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with my wireless controller. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new VM. We'll deploy from an OVF, and I'll just go ahead and v2110, and I'll drag my my v2110 over there. Bear with me 1 second while I track it down. There it is. All right, drop it on my data store, and it'll extract. Okay. So when we spin up the controller, we'll see 3 physical interfaces on it. The VM network, by default, will be the management interface, ISA 0 and ISA 1. And so, this would matter if you had, dedicated interfaces for certain things. I have a customer as an example that wants ISA 1 to be piped out a guest internet service provider, like a commercial grade internet service provider, because they don't really care about the guest experience, as odd as that sounds. But you can do that kind of thing, right? So you could have it on a different VM and that kind of thing. So I'm just going to leave these as defaults for my home lab and click finish. And so we're uploading the VM for that guy. So I'll go ahead and do the others. Pretty much a similar process for all of them, right? So I'll go ahead and do analytics, and I'll give it the version number. Bear with me while I find that guy. Okay. It's actually 2.4. Now this one's a little different for analytics. The reason that is because we're going to, in most deployment models, we will probably have what we call a tap interface, where we have a separate interface that we're going to send all our flow data through. Or I should say, it's not actually our flow data, it's our mirror in traffic from our flow collector. And so in some cases we'll have a GRE tunnel going across a single interface. It kind of depends on the customer's environment and what they can support. But obviously the preferable model would be to have a separate interface specific for our tap. But in my lab, I'm just going to have a single GRE interface. So I'm just going to go ahead and click through this and finish and have that guy go ahead and deploy. Same thing with my NAC VM. And once I download Extreme Management, it'll be the same process as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip through this, and we'll go ahead and start on the next step. Thanks.